Happy Friday, thanks for watching This Week in Discovery News. I'm Trace, and each week we recap the top stories of the last 7 days, plus your social media comments. This week we're talking about 400-year-old ice cream, whether the United States could be a police state soon, and if we're going to have immortality in like 33 years. So I guess we shouldn't really be in any rush to get through this video, because we're going to be immortal and have a lot of time, so I guess we could just hang. Is the U.S. at risk of becoming a police state? You've likely heard about the Colorado shooting during the opening of The Dark Knight Rises, but if you haven't, go use the Google, look it up, because we're not going to cover that here today, but we are going to use that incident to beg the question, how much police protection is too much? So let's get right to it. No. The answer to the question, it's no. It's yes. No, it's no. It's actually no. We're not going to be a police state. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Police state, no. It's not going to happen. Experts say that we cannot become a police state because of the way our police forces came to be. In the 1800s, law enforcement was an organization of vigilantes, more or less, that the sheriff pulled together in response to crime waves or major incidents, just like in the westerns. All right, we got ourselves a posse. Now let's go find out how that Doc Brown made all them fancy ice cubes. Let's go! By the 1920s, the police had patrol cars, radios, and uniforms, and all sorts of technology, plus actual training. Yeah. Although actual training wasn't required until 1967. By the 1980s, we had community-based policing, and then after 9/11, we trained the police to respond to domestic terror threats and other major events. Today, we have 233 police officers for every 100,000 citizens, and most, that is 97%, of all U.S. police departments have 50 or fewer officers, with many in small towns having only a few. To put all this in perspective, even if there were a public outcry for a unified police system, we would have to get every little town across all of the United States to work together in a unified way. We can't even get an airline to hold the plane for 30 seconds when you make a connection. Most of the experts would say this isn't going to happen, and we're probably never going to have a police state here in the US. Cruise over to discoverynews.com/police state to learn more. Wait, do you hear that? Oh my God, there's an ice cream truck! Ice cream! In early Italy, ice cream is all the rage. You might think of ice cream as a common treat now, but imagine hundreds of years ago. Do you think it would be so common then? Oh my child, this ice cream is fantastic. Oh. If you said yes, then you're right. While it was thought of mostly as a luxury item, kind of like hot chocolate, ice cream was actually sold in the streets of Naples, Italy as much as 300 years ago. The hard part is keeping it cold without reliable refrigeration technology. When that came about in the early 1900s, it made it really easy, but prior to that, we had to go harvest ice from glaciers and mountains and rivers and lakes in the wintertime just to bring it back to town and keep the ice cream mix cold so we could serve it. If you keep ice and snow under pressure and well insulated, like in a cellar or inside of a hole, you can keep it cold for a long time, like a whole summer in some parts of the world. Snow was thought of as one of the inspirations for ice cream as well, although there is no single creator that anyone can nail down. Theories range from as early as the 17th century, when Emperor Nero maybe mixed snow with honey and fruit, to Marco Polo bringing some back from China. And it really doesn't matter where it originated. The important thing is it requires ice. The ice was taxed like oil, grain, and other products, and tax records are very reliable. By the 18th century, Naples' iced beverages were well documented and enjoyed by the lower class as well as the aristocrats. But by 1896, the hygiene issues from sharing bowls and whatnot drove one Italian entrepreneur living in New York City to invent a pastry bowl, which later became the ice cream cone. Cool. No pun intended. Get the scoop at discoverynews.com/Italian ice cream. And our last story today is an old idea, but with a new financier. Immortality for humans by 2045. Would you like to live forever? I know I wouldn't, but many people would take the option if it were offered. A Russian mogul claims that cybernetic immortality is possible, and he thinks that they can do it in the next 33 years. The ambitious timeline he's laid out involves creating these artificial beings that will hold our consciousness. They have a number of stages. The first level is a robotic copy that your brain controls from afar. The second level is when they implant your brain into something, maybe an android or whatever. The third level is an artificial brain. And the fourth and final level is a holographic representation of you that contains your entire consciousness and intelligence. Whoa. The Russian guy says that for any skeptic, he can prove the viability of this project, and if you help, he can coordinate your immortality for free. Learn more at discoverynews.com/Russian immortality. That's it for me. Thanks for tuning into This Week in Discovery News. Make sure that you like us on Facebook, you follow us on Twitter, and that you check out our Tumblr. You can also get our headlines right in your inbox every morning by going to discoverynews.com and subscribing to our daily newsletter. If you have comments and tweets, be sure and send them. I read them all. Have a great week. We'll see you next Friday. How do I look? It's like some dude in a truck covered in stickers. Thesis statement. You want some sweets? It's just stupid. I feel like I ran like a Muppet just then. 6 full-time police made us the #1 for the county. Why am I telling you this? I don't know why I moved my coat. Okay.